Hello, everybody. How are you doing? And I see the chat is already busy. Welcome, everybody, to Football Miami TV. I am your host, Peter Brown. And, it's going to be a fun night. We got some things to talk about. But as always, I don't do this by myself. Please welcome in our favorite uncle, Dural's favorite uncle from what we hear, Uncle Ed.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for joining us. We're very excited because now we've got a lot of more information from Inter Miami, so it's going to be a lot that we have to talk about, and I can't wait to get started.
Yeah. We need to I need to wake up a little bit tonight. It's a long, busy day today. So this will be fun way to wrap up the day. Talk a little bit Inter Miami, like I mentioned in the thumbnail. It's time to get excited because if they announced the first 3 games that we're going to be playing, and then we got a couple player information, a new player signed, maybe one on the way. So lots of fun things to get excited about. And if this doesn't get you excited, you're in the wrong place, right, Ed?
Exactly, man. I can't wait till we start playing, but we're still 30 some days away.
April 18th. So yeah. What is today? We're over 30 days, right? So April 18th is the first game. It's only March 14th today, but man, it's gonna go fast. Now things are moving, so it's gonna go fast. They're doing preseason, all that kind of stuff. Beckham's out there playing with the boys. And we could talk a little bit about that tonight as well. Plus, we have voicemails to get to as well. So, as always, if you have a call, if you want to give us a call, if you want to have your voice heard, call 786-474-4435. We do have one already on deck, but we only have one. So if you guys are listening now, watching now, and you want to give us a call, jump in and help direct the conversation. We'll go where you want to go.
Let's do it.
All right. And before we welcome everybody in the chat, while we give everybody another minute or so to get in, let's say a big thank you to our sponsor, Caneswear. Caneswear is, I'll tell you, it's one of the best places in South Florida to get your Inter Miami gear. They've got it all. They got it all. They got everything you want. And something that I noticed when I was there last week. So let's come back to the screen here. So, if you guys follow us on, any of the social medias, your Twitter, your Facebook or whatever, I posted a picture of myself wearing this very, very pink jacket. It's like I saw that jacket, when I was at the stadium and I took a liking to it. And and it looked good but when you put it on, it's like, ooh, it's really pink. People wanted things to be a little more pink.
Very pink, Peter.
It's very pink. I'll be honest. It probably would have looked. I'm trying to think. Would I have liked it better? Maybe. I would probably have been a little. I'll say quicker to buy it, but I was pretty quick to buy it. So I'm arguing with myself within my own head right now. But anyways, I think they might sell more of those if they made them black with the pink highlights, all around instead of all bright pink. But you're going to see me coming on rainy days because I picked up this pink rain jacket, basically all-weather jacket at Caneswear. And the thing I wanted to bring up about that is that when you go to Caneswear, it's cheaper. It's straight up cheaper. I saw that same jacket at Inter Miami Stadium. And if I remember correctly, I'd have to go back and watch my video where I mentioned the prices. But I think the price was somewhere around $112. At Caneswear, it's $100. And that's before you use promo code FMTV10. And now I know there was a FB TV. You can use FB or you can use FM, whichever one you want to use. And I could even change it on the fly right here and say FMTV10 because we got them to add this one as well. So
FMTV10.
FB or FM, whichever one you want, and you can save 10%. And like I said, so I walked out of there getting a pretty nice discount. Their stuff without the discount is already $10 or $12 cheaper than what is marked up. Inter Miami's marking things up. And then on top of that, I get my 10% discount by walking in the store saying that I watch on FMTV. And now I got that $100 jacket for, I'm sorry, it was like $112. I've now got it for, like $90. Not bad.
Nice. And I noticed, Peter, that David Beckham was wearing it too.
Oh, was he?
You see a video of him hitting the crossbar? Yeah.
I did
hit the crossbar.
Yeah, I saw him hit the crossbar. I didn't notice that he was wearing the hoodie, the jacket, the rain jacket.
He was wearing it.
See, I know what I'm doing. I'm buying the stuff that our boy Beckham would wear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
all nice.
I'm all up on the Inter Miami fashion.
Well, and if you guys live far away like I do from Caneswear, I'm ordering online, guys. So do it and get that discount, FMTV 10.
Exactly.
It's worth it.
Yeah, and so if you're anywhere near Davie, go to the store in Davie. If not, go to caneswear.com. Exactly, Ed.
So do it, guys.
Do it and save yourself some money and also support local business, right? In these days, local businesses are struggling, and look, Inter Miami's a local business too. So I mean, I can understand you shopping at the stadium, and if you shop at the stadium, what you're doing there is you're probably just getting like caught up in the moment, right? But if you're the smart shopper, like come April 18th, you go to the store. Let's say Ed, you're coming from the south, right? You hit Caneswear, and then you continue on down to Lockhart or Inter Miami CF Stadium. That's the way you do it, right there. Is pregame at Caneswear, and then you get some new gear, get yourself a new hat or something like that, whatever you're up for, and then you head on a little further north.
Show it off at the stadium. That's the way to do it. So, Peter,
yes,
my connection's still a little bit bad. I'm trying to get it fixed. So why don't you go ahead and start naming out some of these people that we've got on the chat?
Let's welcome some folks. Exactly. We did have some folks in here that were in pretty early. And so let's welcome in the first one in the chat, Jazz Fusion. And then we also got Jose Velasquez. And the great thing about today is I am likely to butcher some names. Judge Dredd the Law was in there as well. He feels like this weekend's soccer was a little bit on the boring side, but his boys Arsenal did smash Tottenham, so that's good. Kevin Gonzalez is in here, and I agree with you. Looking forward to April 18th at Lockhart. That's right, we still call it Lockhart. Mike Blitz 92 says, "Let's go." As always, One World, One Goal is in here, and she's in here early. Let's see if I screw this name up. Marvin Mieles?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm practicing.
Good job.
And he's been listening in or watching our stuff for a long time, so I should know how to say his name,
it's
right?
The least he could
it's
do.
The
Peter.
least I could do.
It's the least I could do.
B King, of course, is in here. And I was in there a little bit early. Our buddy from Atlanta, a new Weissman, is in there. Anybody see Brady hanging out with Beckham?
No. Yeah, they were in the Bahamas, I believe. I don't know if you saw that. He was catching some American footballs. He did a good job too.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say they were catching some dolphins or something out there fishing.
No, they were playing. They were just throwing the ball around the American football, and Beckham did pretty well.
I want to see Brady. What Brady could do with the soccer ball. Let's flip it around. He's talented. They might have to deflate the ball a little bit for him to be good at it, but if they deflate it a little bit, he'll be in good shape.
He might be a good goalkeeper.
Good goalkeeper? Well, he doesn't catch the ball; he throws the ball.
Well, yeah.
What makes you think he can
probably
catch?
Throw the ball pretty well. Well, he can throw, so maybe.
So
maybe
he'll be good at he'll be good at distributing the ball from the net. You'll throw it out there. He'll nail his target.
Those long throws.
Perfectly.
He'll be doing those long throws and to Beckham, back in the day would have been awesome. Could have scored immediately.
All right, and he's
off
tall
the keeper.
enough, right? Okay, all right. Brady, let's sign Brady as a keeper. Well, Brady just got a new contract with Tampa, so he's sitting in the dough. Eric Thomas is in here as well. Yeah, let's scroll down, see who else we got. Jet
Who else we
Pancake
got?
is in here as well. Hello, Jet Pancake. Kada, you guys, legends, free Matuidi. He didn't do it. Wasn't Matuidi's fault, no. Whatever happened, it is not Matuidi's fault. Yeah, we talked about that last week, and in all honesty, we still don't know what's going on with that. But they said they think that there should be some sort of resolution within a week or so, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope nothing happens. We need Matuidi.
What I have heard was that the ownership is pretty confident that they didn't do anything wrong, that they feel like they're okay. So,
well, it's
we'll see.
It has to be, man, because I mean the guy that was the architect behind it all was your buddy up north in Atlanta now, Mr. Paul McDonough himself. So, who's free of blame for some reason.
Apparently. Something just happened. My my phone that I use for the voicemails just restarted, and it seems like it might be updating.
Oh boy!
That's just on its own. That's a problem. Well,
yeah, that sucks. But hopefully, we'll be okay in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'll give it a few minutes and then see what happens. If not, there was one voicemail, and I actually did listen to it in advance, so I can recap it if I absolutely have to. All right, let's see. Is there anybody else we need to say hello to? Jose Carrillo is in here. We need more stores dedicated to Inter Miami CF gear. I hear you. But like we talked about before, we got at least one really, really good one. And since they're friends of ours and they support us, we think you should support them. But I get your point.
It's the least you could do.
It is nice when you see, your team's gear everywhere, right? So I get it. Ale Boss is in here. Our young Carranza.
Nice.
I think that's him. Footballer was late, I think, tonight.
Yeah, normally he's on top of you.
Yeah, I think Footballer might have been a little bit late tonight. Just saying. All right, and that pretty much wraps it up. And if you haven't made yourself known in the chat, go ahead and do that, and we'll say hi. So what's going on,
Peter?
Ed? What's going on? Anything happening?
Oh man. Well, before you go anywhere, I accidentally sent you a message. Well, it really wasn't me; it was my grandkid that sent you a message.
Should I play that?
Oh yeah, that would be kind of funny. Because I think there was just gibberish that you heard. So it could have been worse.
That's why I sent you a question mark. I was like, what? I mean, because it was literally a 2-second long clip. Twice. 2-second long clips. And I'm just like, huh? And it almost sounded like somebody who butt calls you. It's like you hear a little bit of background noise and then it's over. So a little
yeah. That was cool, but I heard you were also tired. I mean, it's the weekend and you're doing chores. What's the deal?
Yeah,
it was canceled.
It's a busy weekend. It's mowing the lawn, trimming the hedges. Judge Dredd's he understands. I know Judge Dredd understands where I'm coming from. And then my wife is a little bit under the weather, so taking care of her, cooking the food in the house, making dinner, what have you, and then finally I find a little bit of time to relax, and then you get sleepy when you're laying by the pool. You get a little sleepy, Ed. I mean, what can I do?
Nice.
But
what'd you make to eat, man? Maybe I'll come over.
So, I made it yesterday because that was yesterday, but we made some
leftovers.
Yeah, tonight it'll be leftovers. But made some pot roast in the old Instapot.
Nice.
You throw in some au jus. You throw in a little bit of ranch powdery stuff in there. You throw some.
Wow, look at that.
You throw some pepperoncinis in there.
Never knew you were chef, man. We got to do a video of Peter.
Peter in the kitchen
doing some type of. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
I'm quite the air fryer, Ed. Quite the air fryer.
A lot of people are nowadays.
Yeah, as Uncle Ned can attest to the air fry wings. All right. So yes, I'm quite the air fryer. I'm not quite the chef, but I've got my coach in the back telling me how to make the rice and all this kind of stuff, how to do things the way my wife does them, because they tend to be good, as opposed to me just following instructions. I should just do it her way, because her way tends, like I said, tends to be good. So, you know, I'm quite the housewife and man of the house this week. Doing both jobs, Ed.
Cool, man. Well, somebody's got to do it. If the wife can't do it, you got to do it.
Yeah, it's exactly
right. Step it up. Put that apron on and do the go, man, go.
That's right. All right, that's right. Well, I think Ed, I don't think people really are tuned in today to talk about my cooking skills, but let's just start off with. I know people are starting to talk about some of the players. Where do you want to go? You want to talk about you help me, Ed. You want to talk about schedule? You want to talk about a new player we signed? You want to talk about a player we might be signing? What do you want to talk about, Ed?
Let's go with schedule, man. I'm very excited because we're basically going to start with the team we should have played, last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Almost. When was the actual date? I forgot. It was supposed to be in March, right?
Yeah, I think it was a March game, but this one will be April 18th at 3 p.m. That's a Sunday at Inter Miami CF Stadium, and we're going to be playing the LA Galaxy. Like you said, that's the game that should have happened. And we were all set and ready to go last year, but it didn't happen. And then the next two games are on the road. We're traveling. On the 24th, traveling up to Philadelphia. That is going to be a tough game. They were tough playing against all last year. And then Sunday on May 16th. Now that's a day, Ed. That's a day. That's my birthday, Ed. May 16th.
Well, look at that.
So May 16th,
the team needs a win.
They need to give me a win, and thankfully, the scheduling gods gave us a very winnable game. I don't want to say Cincinnati is a shoe-in because, hey, we weren't very good last year, but it is a winnable game, right? We can definitely beat them, and that will be hopefully my birthday present. So we've got 3 games all lined up, and the rest of the schedule is supposed to be coming out soon. Ready to go. It should be coming out soon. But I'm curious.
The Sunday game, the Galaxy game, Peter.
Yeah.
We should do a preview show and an after show.
Sure. We could try to do some live stuff from the stadium before pre and post for sure. And Kevin Gonzalez is saying that we're opening up at Cincy's new stadium. So when that'll be their first game in the new stadium, maybe. So that's pretty cool.
And hopefully it'll be their first loss at that stadium too.
Exactly. But
on Peter's birthday,
they better deliver a little birthday win for me. But Ed, I'm curious. Maybe a little bit more than I do, because you are definitely a little more in the know than I am. How do you think the team is going to handle us season ticket holders? And a lot of people that watch this are season ticket holders. How are they going to handle us this year when they still have to do a smaller capacity? They still can't. It's going to basically be like the last game of the season was last year, right? Limited capacity, but clearly they've got more season tickets that were sold than people that are allowed to fill the stadium. So what do you think they're going to do? Maybe you know something that I don't.
That is an issue, Peter, and I did speak to my rep because I wanted to, I definitely want to see every game. We've got our season tickets, and they were saying that they still don't know how it's going to work out because obviously I think they're going to probably start with 4,000 people, somewhere between 4,000 and 9,000 people, depending on what the city allows them to do. And so we do know that the stadium's got, 15,000, 16,000 seats that have been sold, if not more. So they definitely can't do anything about that. we're in trouble, Peter. There might be a chance that either they sell, they give us priority to get tickets as season ticket holders, or they start using our season tickets and start giving it to us. But yeah, there's still no way they're going to be able to get seats to everybody. They're still in the I don't know what's going to happen phase, but they're going to try to keep us updated on what the plan is. So, but the one of the ideas they threw at me was we'll give priority to get tickets, all the season ticket holders, and so there's not much we can do, Peter, except wait a little bit longer and try to cross our fingers that we'll all get to, as season ticket holders, we can all get in there. But there's definitely not enough space for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So what? Yeah, from what my expectation is, Ed, is that they will handle at least this first game the same way they handled the last game. And so, as season ticket holders, we got first dibs at buying a ticket, but still, they owe me a game then, right? Because as season ticket holders, we paid for what, 18 games, I think it is, and so
right,
they owe me a game, and so are they rolling it over into next year? And there are some, like I was on Reddit, and there are some people that have some theories that they're going to roll the entire season over again. That sounds crazy to me that you're asking people that to roll an entire season. So, okay, we did it once. Now we're going to do it again. I mean, maybe. That's a tougher sell. I think at that point, I think you have to start maybe refunding people a little bit. And so that way it's like, okay, if they refunded me the money that for, then, I'm using the money right back again to buy the ticket, right? But, as long as I get in early enough, right? Because, again,
right.
There's more season tickets sold than they will be allowed people in the stands. So, you're going to have to act quick
and
to
that's
get your ticket.
Yeah, and that's an issue that we're going to have. I mean, we're season ticket holders, but at the same time, there's all the people in supporters groups who are also season ticket holders, but their tickets are, in the supporter section. Who's going to get priority? I mean, they're going to have to space people out no matter what. So is there going to be a limited amount of supporters? Is there going to be a limited amount of season ticket holders in certain areas? Are they going to, one of the things I threw at them was like, what are we going to do? Are we going to have like one game we could go watch it and one game we can't go watch it? It's still up in the air, man.
Yeah, and so when I was at Caneswear, I was talking about this topic with Jeff over at Caneswear, and that's one of the fun things about going to the store too. It's not just the place you go and buy something. You're not going to Dick's Sporting Goods where you're just buying something and checking out. These guys are sports fans. They're talking about the game. They want to be your neighborhood, hang out a little bit while you're shopping, right? So it's fun. So we were talking about that, and he said basically we're saying something about University of Miami football. I think it was football games. I'm not sure if it was football or baseball, but University of Miami, in that they basically said, as a season ticket holder, we're going to give you, say, out of a group of we're going to give you a choice of, say, these 3 games to go to. And you could go to, say, this one, and this one, or that one, and that one, right? So you buy, like, say, let's say a black group or a pink group. Think about our colors. And those are the games you go. And then let's say I get black, you might have to go pink because you're going to get opposite days, so that there's distancing and all that kind of stuff. That was the way I think the Hurricanes are doing it, if I understood it correctly, which is an interesting way of handling it.
The issue there, I think, is that people are going to want to go to certain games more than others. I think there'll be more interest to watch them play the Galaxy versus Cincinnati, for example.
But it's no different than when you get a flex packs. When you get like a flex pass for season tickets, there's generally a package. Let's say there's 2 different packages, and you'll have 1 or 2 really good teams on both packages that you're going to want to see, and then a couple filler games. on both packages. So if they give you a LA in package 1, they may give you a Toronto in package 2 because both of them are quality games, right? So, I mean, that's just an idea, something they could potentially do. But in reality, I think they're just going to do it the same thing they did last year. I just don't know how they're going to handle paying us back, right? Rolling it over, or because we've already spent the money. So,
yeah. Well, for you and I, that wouldn't be an issue. We'd probably roll it over.
Of course, I would. But think about it. There's a lot of people that came in on the hype. Are they willing to roll it over another year? And I'm not blaming the team for this because it's the situation we're in. They've got to find a creative way to make people happy. But I'm just curious. What happens? There was
somebody wrote something.
Yeah, well, just somebody was asking our thoughts on something, and I lost it. But it was somebody that was asking about a supporters group. It was somebody up in Broward, like asking us a recommendation on a supporters group. And I'm just looking for that chat. I don't see it anymore. But I think Ed and I are going to tell you, Southern Legion.
Yeah, we're kind of biased when it comes to that, but yeah, what was the question about then?
Yeah, just what is maybe a good group option for somebody that lives up in Broward?
Yeah, I think the majority of the Legion is up in Broward. Oddly enough,
a lot of us are up in Broward.
Yeah, I think it's if not half, maybe a little bit more than half is up there. So but we have events. Southern Legion has events in Miami-Dade County and up in Broward. So you get a little bit of everything. But
here it is. Kata was asking. And Kata was asking any recommendations what supporters group to join that's closer to me in Deerfield Beach. So. Kata, I'm pretty close to Deerfield Beach. So just to give you an idea, I'm in Coconut Creek. So I actually went to Deerfield Beach today to pick up lunch. So so I'm right there with you. And I'm a member of Southern Legion. But of course, there are two other good groups, the Siege and Vice City. I'm sorry about that.
Vice City.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm choking on Vice City, but I'm choking.
You need to get some water there, Peter.
Yeah,
that happened to me once.
This passion fruit, hard
look
seltzer.
at that.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
But so you can't lose in any of the groups. I don't know if there's specifically a Broward group, but every one of the groups, I think, at least two of the three. I know that Southern Legion and the Siege both have kind of people in Broward. I don't know about Vice City. I think they're a little more Dade centric, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, like Ed said, is more than half of the Southern Legion is from Broward. So, and we do watch parties and things like that up in Broward. We did several watch parties in the past, real close up off of Oakland Park, the soccer place that they have fields, and they also have like a soccer bar there and everything.
Yeah, America's got soccer. We did an event there. We also had some. We were supposed to. Well, if it wasn't because of COVID, we actually had a couple places up in Broward that we were going to rotate to show the games at. And to have watch parties, but it didn't materialize because of the whole COVID thing, and but we also had events down in Miami-Dade. So, it's up to you. My suggestion is go out and meet up with everybody from those groups, and whichever group is better for you, stick with them.
Yeah, exactly.
In the end of the day, they're all going to be in the same supporters section, and La Familia is what they're all called together. So, you get to hang out with everybody.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just go to every one of them have some sort of events. Go to one of the events, check them out on social media, and just whoever you connect with, But if you want to connect with me and Uncle Ed, Southern Legion.
You know where to find us.
You know where to find us. All right. I have Ale Boss here begging me to go to the voicemail. So let's go to his first. Even though he was not first, I have another one, but I will go to him as first just because he's begging. And it's short, 12 seconds long.
Hello, my name is Alejandro. My question is, be honest, do you think Inter Miami are going to be a disappointment like they were last season? Let me know. Thank you.
Ooh. Are they going to be as bad as they were last year? Disappointment. As much
well, we were bad and we still made the playoffs, Peter.
Yeah, but we made the play. We would not have made the playoffs in a normal year. That was them throwing us a bone to make the playoffs.
Hey, I'll take the bone.
Yeah, of course, right? But it was they were a disappointment though, because you had Pizarro that was not nearly as good as they were the year before. Pellegrini was a letdown. Carranza was a letdown. So
also a lot of letdowns we had this past season. Higuain only scored 1 goal. Of course, he didn't play that many games, but he also got a red card because he couldn't stop arguing with the refs. It was the whole 2020 year was an accident, Peter.
Yeah.
It was just a train wreck of a year.
I would agree with what One World, One Goal is saying. There is much more team unity with Phil Neville plus Bex there. So I would agree with One World, One Goal in that I feel better, but last year at this time, I felt pretty good too. So, it's like, but if you ask me, from where we ended to where we are now, I feel better today than I did at the end of last season. I think Phil Neville, I don't know how he is as a tactician, but it seems like one of his biggest talking points, at least, is team unity. And players have come out and talked a little bit about that, how they're like a family. And I think McCoon had said something about that in an Inter Miami article. And so I think he's really worked on that. And then having the boss there in training, I mean, that's fun. And Beckham is definitely more hands-on. And another thing is that the unity between Chris Henderson, David Beckham, and Phil Neville, it feels like these guys are together. They are on the same page. That's what it feels like to me. There was never, I wouldn't say like last year, it felt like they were not on the same page, but it didn't feel like they were either, right? There was no like signs that they were on the same page. And this time I feel like there's just more togetherness within the organization, within the front office, which then has to bleed out on the field. They've got to be better, right, Ed?
Yeah, I think so too, Peter. We've seen some of those videos that they've had come out. You see Phil Neville speaking in Spanish because apparently he speaks Spanish. Hopefully, him and Bex could start speaking a little more Spanish and hook up with those players that some of them only speak Spanish, give the other guys that can't speak too much English some classes. And have everybody, as long as everybody understands what's going on. I felt last year there probably, I heard some of the times when Alonso was speaking, and it was usually he was only speaking in Spanish. So I think there was a definite communication problem there. And let's hope that this year that's not the issue.
I feel like, and I don't know for certain, I just heard Neville say a few things here and there, and he said he speaks Spanish, right? He's just nervous doing it in front of the media. But I feel like he speaks more Spanish than Alonso did English.
Would
you agree?
What it seems like. It seems like it. Yeah. Because there's been a couple of recordings and he's been speaking Spanish. Has a little accent, but he's doing it pretty well.
Who cares if there's an accent, as long as you can understand? Like, look, I talk to people with an accent every single day in Colombia, and some of them have very thick accents. But the rule is, if I can understand you, I'll hire you, right? You know, that's the whole thing. So an accent, no big deal. Not saying things properly, no big deal. As long as you can get your point across and they can understand, I think that's all it really takes. I think, I feels like they're more unified this year. And the team is got also think about this too, is the team's together earlier. We still are missing a couple pieces, but for the most part, the team is together sooner than it was last year.
Exactly. I think that's also very important. Last year, it seemed like everything they started working together towards the very end, and it seemed like we needed more time. I'm kind of looking, forward to what other players get added on. We've had a couple of players we can talk about soon. We obviously need there's one of them.
Yeah.
Jovan Jones. Midfield. He's a defender midfielder.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how do you say his name? Is it Jovan? Is it Jovine? I don't know how to say his first name.
I went with Jovan, so. I
did too, but can we just call him Joe?
I think Joe is doable.
I'm curious. Does he go by Joe? And he's a player that they just signed. Is going to play left back, same position that they're trying to hire that guy from England.
Kieran Gibbs.
Kieran Gibbs, right? So Kieran Gibbs deal.
I don't know if with this he's no longer in consideration.
No, they said he's still in consideration, but that it may happen till summer. So let's be honest, you got to fill that spot before summer.
Right.
So he's serviceable.
Yeah. Well, and we've got.
He's only 29 years old, so he's still fair, good, decent age. I think it was 29.
Right.
And
we've got somebody covering that left spot that Peter Brown was so worried about last year with his favorite player.
He has to be better than Ben Sweat. Let's just say, he's got to be better than Ben Sweat. Has to be.
Okay. And where did Ben go since you follow his career so closely?
I don't know. He's somewhere in the league. Where did he end up?
He's like, I don't know. Well, somebody tell us in the chat.
I think he ended up didn't he end up in Austin or something? Yeah, Austin.
I think it is Austin.
Yep. He ended up in Austin. So we'll play against him. He may be good in Austin. He just wasn't quite right for us. And this guy Jovan Jones seems to be a solid player. He's a championship player with Seattle Sounders, and that's somebody that Chris Henderson knows very, very well. So he's got confidence in him. He's a Trinidad Tobago's guy, so that's also nice too, to maybe reach out to some of that community here in South Florida. That's never a reason to get a player, but when it kind of works together, that's nice.
Yeah. People, whether you like it or not, will support more when it's a player that they're familiar with, that he's from their country. The same thing that happened with Pizarro. There's not that many Mexicans here, but I've seen a lot more people join like the supporters groups just because he's on the team. So hey, whatever attracts fans, we'll take it.
So we got several people that are trying to teach us how to say it. So it is Joe Vin. Jazz Fusion says it's Joe Vin. Eric Thomas says it's Joe Vin. Matt Z says it's Joe Vin. So it is Joe Vin, according to the masses.
Joe Vin. See, there we go.
And Eric Thomas.
What did you say?
What's that?
How did you pronounce it?
Originally, I don't know. Jovin. I don't know. Jovine. There's could be different ways of saying it, but Eric Thomas is saying, Peter Brown, don't worry, he's way better than your boy. So better than Ben Sweat. Hey, that's all we ask for right now. Better than Ben Sweat. And I saw earlier in the chat, I think in the very beginning of the chat, somebody was asking about who's going to be on the right. That's going to be Figal, I'm pretty sure. Oh, and something I was happy about because I complained about this, and in this episode, we're not complaining, right? We're happy. There's no complaint in this episode. We do enough of that in other episodes. Inter Miami updated their roster on the website.
Nice.
Round of applause for Inter
All
Miami.
right.
Good job, Inter Miami. Good
About
job.
time in Miami. Yeah, they had us waiting there for a while. Yeah, they need to be on top of that. It's not that difficult.
It's not that difficult. They don't have pictures, but that's okay. You know, they got the names. They got the correct names this time. So congratulations. We've got the roster, and starts off with number 1, John McCarthy. That's your goalkeeper. So.
All right.
So
talk about pronunciations, Peter. What the Brazilian player Gregory, I think his name is.
I mean, I was told you pronounce it Gregory, and actually we actually had a comment on one of our on one of, I think last week's video. A guy named Almir Bispo. He says, "I'm Brazilian and support Bahia team. Gregory is a good soccer player. We shall never forget him. The center field belongs to him." How about that?
Wow.
And that's the one thing I've read over and over are Brazilian fans basically saying, "Hey, take care of him. He's one of ours." You know, he obviously left that club with a really good reputation. So he not only a good soccer player, but a good human. And that's always a positive that, you know, you need that team unity that we talked about before. You need a guy that's good in the locker room. And so many reports or comments out of Brazil just saying, "Hey, this guy's good. Take care of him."
Well, he needs to come to Miami already. He's I've been following him on social media. And it looks like he's on vacation. I just, I want him to come to Miami and start, getting used to the team, to the other players. I want these guys to be ready to go, Peter.
I understand, but there could be another issue there. Maybe he is vacationing because he can't get out of the country. So, my wife is Brazilian, and she's actually planning a trip soon, which she looks like she's going to reschedule. And because Brazil is currently on lockdown. Because Brazil, people in Florida, people think Floridians are a little bit, there's so many Florida man stories, right? There's so many stories out there that start with Florida man this, Florida man that. We got a reputation of being a little bit, fly by the seat of the pants, a little bit crazy here in South Florida specifically, but Florida in general, maybe willy-nilly with the guidelines on COVID. Like some people follow it. Some people are like, what the heck? I don't care. I'm not wearing a mask. Don't. Yeah. There's all this kind of stuff that's going around, but we got a bit of a reputation here in Florida, right?
That's for sure.
Okay. Well, Brazil, they decided, there's a pandemic, whatever. We're still going to do Carnival. And
and how did that go?
It's a COVID spreader. It's a spreader. That's what it is. They go and now there weren't like necessarily the big official citywide events, but that doesn't stop people from getting together and doing their own little street parties or what have you and all that stuff. And so Carnival, they went crazy with some Carnival in Brazil, and guess what? Now Brazil's on lockdown. So the whole pandemic is pretty bad right now over there in Brazil. So that may be, I'm not sure, but just from my wife is talking to her family in Brazil like every day right now because she's planning a trip.
Yeah.
And so she's getting daily updates, and it's bad there. So that could impact when he gets here.
He can't get out of the country. That's an issue. So no wonder, man. I was wondering why he's still on vacation and he's not in Miami, with the rest of the team. Makes total sense now, Peter.
Yeah.
And have you heard anything else in the other players that might be in the on the horizon?
Well,
we definitely need forwards, man. We only have 3.
There is Mitch Curry that has been talked about. He's from Sunderland, and he's a forward. He's a young guy. He's under 23 player. Word is he's going to be being signed to the Fort Lauderdale CF squad. So, he's definitely not one of these expensive players that we're bringing over. But and currently we don't have an international roster spot available, apparently. So that I did not know, but I just recently learned that. So he's going to go to Fort Lauderdale. If he impresses, then we'll have to make room for him. And somebody can hopefully get a green card, and then he can pop in and play on the first team. But so this guy here, Mitch Curry, is somebody that apparently they're looking to sign, somebody that Phil Neville has been talking to. And, I guess from what I read was that they're just kind of waiting on the visa thing.
Well, yeah. So you totally could tell that that's somebody that Phil Neville's probably had his eye on. And he said, let's get this guy.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. And I'm kind of.
What I like about it is I like that they're bringing him into the Fort Lauderdale squad. It's like that's one of the things we need to use that club for, not just for our academy, but bring in a player that, okay, he may not be the star player, so you might be getting him at a good price. Bring him in, let him get to know the Inter Miami system, play, with the same basically philosophy, but with at a lower level, and see what he does. And the coaches will get to see him practice every day, and I think that I love that.
Yeah. I also saw, Peter, that Jairo Quinteros, who was one of the players that I believe was with Bolivar, he was signed again for Bolivar, so he's off the roster. So that's one less defender that we have. So there's another space right there that's opening up. He may have counted as a foreign player as well.
But he wasn't on the team last year, so he wouldn't have counted, I don't think. I don't think he's technically on the roster if he's on loan.
Yeah, well, I guess they had put him on the roster and then decided not to, to take him, and he went back to Bolivar. So, that's Marcelo Claudi's team.
Yeah.
Of course, they're all everybody. They've have other teams involved. I know that Beckham's also involved with another team in England that I think just got promoted. I don't know if you saw that. I forgot, Salford City, I think it's called. Something like that. Yeah. Salford. And they just got promoted to, I think they were in 4th division. I think they got promoted to 3rd division now. So
what do you think about this, Ed? Sean the Fish Layer. Sean the Fish Layer says we don't need any more forwards.
Well, I don't know, man. We only have 3. We got
3
Carranza.
forwards.
We've got
with 3 forwards. We're
Robinson.
Clear. I'm sorry. I think there's a little bit of a delay. That's why we're talking over each other a little bit. But they're obviously going to play with 1 forward, right? Because you're not putting both of your two out of 3 forwards on the field at the same time. Because injuries, tired, whatever. You need at least to have a sub available, and like I said, injuries. You're not putting 2 out. So we're obviously playing with 1. We definitely need more forwards, even if it's a young forward that's just sitting on the bench and is just there for depth and growth and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, we really do need more. Forget about even the young. We need a premier goal scorer. We didn't score a lot of goals last year.
We sure didn't, and we had Julian Carranza, who I think only scored 2. Did Robbie ever score?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look up the stats.
I don't think he did. He only scored 1. So I'd be more comfortable if we had another striker.
I agree.
We need another forward. We need somebody up there just for depth purposes. But I think, Julian Carranza is young. Robbie Robinson is young as well. Of course, Gonzalo would be, Higuain would be the main starter, but I still feel that we've got 2 young guys there who are going to be, it's either one or the other, and I think we're going to need another guy that could support.
All right, we've got another voicemail, and I think I'm going to probably end because these voicemails are probably more in line with what we're talking about, I'm assuming, and I know the one that we got earlier from Ted is a little off topic, so we will listen to his after this.
Last.
Yeah, because it's a little off topic, but it's a good conversation nonetheless.
Hey, it's Italia from the Aficionados, also known as One World, One Goal. Hey guys, and all the fans, they're saying One World, One Goal is too long to type. This actually was a charity that we made for my husband, Diego Serna 17, where he collects gear and he trains the kids. So, hoping to do more activities once the season opens up, I guess towards the end of the year, with like a big Fusion, get all the Fusion players for their 20-year reunion. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Peter was 10 at that time. Ed was, 5.
I like
Anyway, we're looking forward to doing some charity work. I'm so excited that the team has listened to us and they're doing tons of marketing. They did the charity work with the youth, which is what we used to do. And, it is like the Broward County Boys and Girls Club. So they're getting involved in Broward too. And Beckham was over at FIU talking with all the kids, taking all the pictures for the college lecture. And then he's off in the Bahamas playing American football. He's hitting that crossbar. I mean, they have pumped out some serious media. And Neville looks like he's got everybody laughing and smiling too. Love you guys. Love the show. Bye.
Yeah, I love that they're doing a lot, some more community work. I saw some of that stuff in their boys and girls clubs coming out to the stadium. I can't wait till I guess we get past this pandemic and Inter Miami can really do some community outreach. Really, really get into the community. And Beckham going to FIU, that's awesome. That's the kind of stuff. I mean, imagine you're at FIU and he walks in. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. He's coming in talking to you guys. You know, so that's pretty awesome. But there's so much more that this club can do. You hear about MLS clubs building like soccer pitches in lower income areas. That's something I would love to see us do. Put some in Overtown. Put some maybe in downtown Fort Lauderdale around Sistrunk Boulevard, stuff like that. There's areas that could definitely use it. And brand put the old Inter Miami colors on it and everything. Everybody knows where it came from. Good promotion, good community outreach, all that kind of stuff. They've opened up the stadium for COVID testing. I think at one time they did a food drive that you were a part of, and I think now they're currently giving out the vaccine at the stadium. So they're allowing the community to use the stadium for a lot of different things as well. So super happy to see the club that I support really getting into the community. So good points there.
Yeah. They are doing the vaccines. I did hear about that. So, right. I don't know what the requirements are, but eventually everybody's going to get the vaccine. So I can't wait till everybody's vaccinated so we can get back to our normal lives, man. Because this has been wearing that mask has been such a pain in the head.
I've gotten used to it. I mean, heck, if I can wear a mask at Disney for like a 12-hour day, I could. Yeah, it's no big deal. You just got to get the kind that is comfortable for you. What you think is going to be safe, but also breathable, right? Because imagine wearing those things in the heat. It is difficult, but But I've gotten used to it. At some points, I still have it on, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. And then, of course, it's the other way around. Sometimes I walk out of my car, and I'm like, oh, no, the mask is still in the car. I forgot it. Oh, man. Dummy. So it goes both ways. I forget that I got it on. I forget. I'm just forgetful, apparently. So, all right, here. Let's listen to this another voicemail, and this could maybe take us to the end. I don't know. We'll see.
Hello, this is Ted from Paboney Creek, Florida. I have a question for you. I know some guys who are from Broward County, and they hate Inter Miami. They don't like the fact that they have the name Miami in their name but play in Fort Lauderdale. What do you think is the way to get some of those people, I don't know how many of them there are, there might not be that many, but I know a few, to get them on board and to get over this silly 305/954 divide? And I know we have plenty of people over here in Paboney Creek who also don't like anything in Broward County. As you know, Paboney Creek is in Miami-Dade. And we have people on both sides of County Line Road who just don't like the other side of the county. How do you think we should navigate that? Although it doesn't seem to be a big problem in a general sense, because it seems like there's no shortage of ticket demand. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
Paboney Creek. That's a new area. I have not heard of Paboney Creek before, Ed. Were you familiar with that neighborhood?
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to
Google-
look it up here because
it sounds like it might be near County Line
it's
Road.
Yeah, well, he just said, didn't he say he was in Miami-Dade?
Yeah, but it sounded like he might be close to County Line Road or something. I don't know. I grew up right on County Line Road. I mean, I was on the Miami side, but barely, right? I was one stoplight and I was in Broward. So I was a County Line kid. I never heard of Paboney Creek, but that's an interesting. It's an interesting. I'm gonna have to Google
it's
that.
Probably a new It's probably something new or something. I would imagine because I don't think anybody's ever heard of that.
Maybe it's one of those up and coming neighborhoods that only people like Ted know about.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So
exactly. That's probably what it is.
He's talking about a couple of guys that hate anything Inter Miami does, and I'll be honest, I got a feeling there is a good portion of people that are in our chat that are watching this that have never heard of these guys, that they don't pop up on their radar at all. So these guys are loud on the internet, but they're loud to a very small group of people. And we just happen to be a part of that group, right? Because we used to all support the Fort Lauderdale Strikers together. Some of us supported Miami FC before that, and then it became the Strikers. And there's these 2 or 3 guys, and that's all it is. They make a lot of noise on social media, hating anything Beckham does, anything Inter Miami does. And so, I mean, his question is, how do we get those guys over?
Impossible.
There's no chance. Those 2 or 3
I don't think
guys,
those guys will.
There's not.
That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I don't understand, and we've talked about this before. I don't understand having that much hate in my heart. I don't have time for that. I don't want to put out any negative energy. I try to surround myself with positive people. If there are negative people around me, I try to kind of, not hang out with them. So I like to, even in my work environment, I try to be around positive people. If there's somebody that's going to sit there and complain about the company I work for, I'm probably not going to hang out with you, because go find another job then. I mean, I like the company I work for. They pay my bills, right? But so I don't like to be around negative people. So, I don't really hang out with those folks, but I do. We're friendly. We know each other, and there's no chance they're going to ever be Inter Miami fans. If you remember, near the end of the Fort Lauderdale Strikers, they were like wearing like little like Beckham masks and trying to mock Beckham, like, oh, we're so much better, and they're mocking.
Never gonna happen.
They were mocking Beckham. Who got the last laugh?
Yeah. Well, we're wearing the shirts now.
And unfortunately, and I'm not saying this to be happy, because I was a Strikers fan too. Strikers is no more, and Beckham did not kill the Strikers. Beckham did not hurt the Strikers. That was the Brazilian ownership that didn't pay their bills. That was who hurt the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. And so, I don't think there is now. So if we go beyond those 2 or 3 people, and that's all it is, they just hate on everything. And if you're ever a Strikers fan, you might be aware of these guys, and they might be on your radar. If you're never a Strikers fan and you're newer to this whole thing, you don't even know who these guys are, and so why bother? But to Ted from Paboney Creek's point, there has been for years a bit of a divide, a Dade-Broward divide. People that are in Broward say going down to Miami's too far. People in Kendall say, I'm not driving to Fort Lauderdale, that's too far. So how do you, I guess the bigger question is, how do you break that divide and bring people together from whichever county this team plays in, whether it be in Fort Lauderdale for the next 2, 3, 4 years and then eventually in Miami? How do you bring all those people together?
I think it's worked so far, Peter. A lot of people, we know that a lot of the season tickets have sold out. I'm coming from Miami, driving all the way to Lockhart. And I didn't have a problem doing that back in the Miami Fusion days. I don't have a problem to do it now. Of course, I'm going to love it even more once the team starts playing in Miami-Dade. You're not going to like it that much, but, we'll do it, because that's, when you love a sport so much like we do, and you want a team in South Florida, because that's what we wanted. We we're fighting for a team in South Florida. We didn't care. Even if they would have played in West Palm, I still would have driven up there. It's still South Florida. Key West. Well, that's that's way south, but we probably would have gone.
I mean, a couple games. For me, that's the same distance as Orlando. So that's a 3-hour drive south as opposed to a 3-hour drive north. So obviously I go to Orlando a lot. So yes, I guess I would go to some games down there, but it just wouldn't be every game. But
right.
But we got to think about not just us. We are those diehards, and most of you watching this are those diehards that will go anywhere. However, some of you may have that line and in the sand that you're only supporting them now because they're in Fort Lauderdale. And if for whatever reason they can never get the stadium done in Miami, then you got to question, do they need to rebrand their name to something Fort Lauderdale, right? But that's where I think most of us are pretty confident that they will get a stadium built in Miami, so they will be in Miami at some point. When? Who knows? But at some point. I would say one of the things that they did, and maybe this was a bit accidental or just the situation, the fact that they're planning on putting the stadium in Miami, so the team will go to play their big games in Miami, but then they're going to work in Broward Monday through Friday, what have you. They're going to go to work in Broward and do all the trainings in Broward. The fact that they did that and they put the team in 2 counties right off the bat, I think helps bridge that gap. That makes it South Florida's team. It may have Miami's name on it, but so do the Miami Dolphins, and they train in Davie.
Right.
So nobody's complaining that the Miami Dolphins train in Davie, but yet have the Miami tag. So
also,
it'll be something similar for
Miami Heat fans. They'll go eat.
We got plenty of Broward fans of the Miami Heat. You know how many Miami Heat license plates I see up here? Tons and tons of them. So there's plenty of Broward County fans that are willing to drive down to Miami and watch. And the funny thing is, these 2 or 3 guys that we're talking about, that Ted was talking about, they are Miami Marlins fans. They are Miami Heat fans. Florida Panthers fans. I think even the Dolphins. They like Miami teams. They just got some weird thing about, having a team branded Miami playing in Fort Lauderdale. But at the end of the day, they also had a big issue with the fact that they tore down Lockhart, and built some, nice new stadium. They had big issues there. So, you've got things change. You can't just keep up with the past. Things change.
Well, I'm happy they have that brand new stadium because it's nice. It's so much better than the other one. And they tore it down. There was a lot of history there, but you know what? It's in the same place where the other stadium was. If they would have called the Lockhart, I would have been happy. But whatever the history, it was still in that same area, so in that same place. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, Kevin Gonzalez is saying FC Dallas plays its home games in Frisco, Texas, which is a 1-hour drive north of Dallas Metroplex. Please, enough with the area code rivalries. So, Kevin, 1 hour? I mean, have you made that drive? I did make that drive once. I was staying in a hotel near downtown, and I did drive to Frisco to a game. For me, now it was like a Sunday afternoon game. It took me like 20, 30 minutes to get there. I don't think it took me an hour. It was a long time ago. I don't think it took me an hour. But and I remember doing it thinking, what are all these people complaining about? But that actually has hurt Dallas, putting the stadium way out there. Frisco's really nice. I almost bought a house in Frisco.
I remember that. You were talking about leaving, and that could have changed everything. Maybe we would have given up trying to get a team over here if he would have been gone, because you were kind of like the guy that helped motivate us.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
You started.
Well, Peter, with all those logos all over the place, they can't rebrand. Well, tell that to every other MLS team. Half the league, or more than half the league, has rebranded. I mean, CF Montreal just rebranded.
I like the Impact.
I did too.
Yeah,
I don't like the CF Montreal. I mean, why does Inter Miami becomes CF now? That's the new chic thing to do. Everybody wants to be CF instead of FC. What's up with that, Ed?
I guess, we're trendsetters over here or something. I don't know.
Trendsetters here in South Florida.
Club de Futbol.
Yeah. Well, anyways, there is a lot to do. Oh, Kevin saying, answering, yes, Peter. Sometimes with traffic on US 75 towards McKinney, it can take that long. I've done it multiple times driving to Durant, Oklahoma. I did go up to Oklahoma as well. It was like a 3-hour drive. My brother was living in Oklahoma at the time. So yeah, I only did it once, and when I did it, there was wide open roads, so it was quick and easy. But
right.
All right, good to know. Hey, I think that pretty much wraps it up. We had fun tonight. Thanks to everybody. Let me just do a real quick check. Okay, no more voicemails. All right, we're good. Thanks to everybody that called in. Appreciate that, and thanks to everybody in the chat. Chat, as always, was very, very active. We don't necessarily go to the chat as often, because, trying to go all over. But I know you guys entertain each other, and that's really cool. So we've got this great community that, and you guys are all awesome and have fun with each other while Ed and I ramble on about some nonsense. So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And remember to go to Caneswear to buy your raincoat. You know it's going to rain in South Florida this year. You know you want to get that pink raincoat like me and my buddy Beckham wear. Go to Caneswear. And
get it, guys. Go do it.
While you're there, use code FMTV10 for 10% off. So let's and if you don't see it in the store, ask them, because they may not have put it out on the racks yet. They may have it in the back, which was the case of my jacket. So talk to them, hang out. They've got some new stuff coming in. Where I was talking to them, they've got some new hats that are going to be coming in, because I'm in the market for a new hat. I want a new hat this year, and so they're going to have some new hats coming soon. So yeah, it's a fun place to go check out. And again, if you can't get there, go to caneswear.com. So, all right, Ed, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, man, good times. Don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. Watch Futbol Miami TV.
Please do. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. We will see you next week.